skipping ahead quite a bit. We're jumping ahead to 2009 with our next entry.
Yep.
Once again titled simply Children of the Corn. So we have our first remake.
This is an asterisk.
This is a what's the asterisk, Mark?
So this one is actually not a movie. It was made for TV. And it
No,
does
I'm
not,
aware of that. I'm
okay.
going to get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still it's not technically canonically connected. That being said, who fucking cares?
So if you're looking for lists of these movies, sometimes you'll see some that only have 10 because they don't include this one.
Yeah.
We are including it because it's part of
I mean, it's got the same fucking title. It's the same plot.
Like as much as the other 10
I was
movies
gonna say as
form
if
any kind
because
of
Revelation was so integral to all the other ones.
I guess because this one was made by a different studio.
Yeah, so I'll get into it right now.
Yeah.
So this is the first official. It's a remake.
Yep.
It is licensed. It's above board. It's not unofficial.
Yep.
It's an officially licensed. However, it's not made by Dimension Films.
Yeah.
This is the key component here. It was produced as a made-for-TV movie because what happened was the producer Donald Borchers. Yeah, I got this guy's name.
All right.
He was a producer on the original '84 film. And he had wanted to do a remake for years, and he kept pitching it to Dimension Films, and they were basically like, nah. Which, why? What do you care?
Yeah.
Like, what? To me, it's like Dimension Films was like, nah, we got to number them, bro. Like, we don't want to do a remake. Why? What do you fucking care? All your stuff's shit anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares?
Especially if they're all ash cans, just let him do one.
Right, exactly. So, but for whatever reason, they were like, no. So then he was like, all right, fuck you guys. Yep. And then he goes and makes a deal with Fox 21, which is the television division, like production division of Fox Studios at the time, studios. And they had the rights to a television adaptation, not a film adaptation. Because rights are really weird when it comes to like releases, especially now in the streaming age. So that's how we get this film. That's how this comes to be. And this film is my number 6.
Number 3.
It's too high.
Yeah.
It's too high.
No, and I know why I have this ranked higher than you do. We'll talk about it.
No, I don't want to talk about it. I'll just skip the next one.
There's something about this entry that you might not be aware of, or maybe you are, that gives it more points than
because it's more faithful to the book.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but who cares? It's not enjoyable. I knew that. I knew it was more faithful. You are right. It's a more faithful adaptation. That being said, it's not a fun movie to watch. I have
something else too.
So I have it at 6.
Yeah.
I don't have it super low. It's kind of a mid pick for me,
Yeah.
but it's there ironically. I want to be clear about that. It is not there because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed parts of it ironically.
Okay.
Let's get into the plot. It opens with a title card followed by a group of children being preached to by another young boy going on about the drought in Gatlin, Nebraska. So this is a remake.
Yep.
This is a fresh take on the source material. We then get the usual shit, which is people over the age of 19 are inherently evil and unworthy of God's love, blah, blah, blah. All hail he who walks behind the rows, usual shit. They then sacrifice a pig, and we cut ahead 12 years later to, once again, 2 young lovers, Vicky and Bert, who are out on a road trip. Bert is played by actor David Anders. I don't know if you recognized him.
I think he's on one of your shows, wasn't he?
He's kind of a prominent TV actor.
Yeah.
I recognize him from a lot of stuff. Like he just has one of those faces. He pops up in a lot of television work. Mm-hmm. But I know Vicky is the one that... Vicky is played by Kandyse McClure, who we know best from...
the amazing Battlestar Galactica reimagining series,
Yeah, the remake Battlestar Galactica, the 2003, I think it is. I think it's 2003.
I should know.
You should know that.
Yeah.
And did I get it? I think it's 2003. Whatever.
2006, maybe?
No, I don't think it's that late.
No.
I think it was a bit earlier. I'm going to say 2003. Was I right? Okay. So
we're both wrong.
Probably. It could have been. But yeah, I know her. We both know her from Battlestar Galactica.
Yep.
She's not playing that character in this. No. So Bert and Vicky are driving through the county roads of Nebraska and arguing about nothing. All of a sudden, a bloody boy stumbles out into the road and is smoked by their car. Vicky starts screaming at Bert about what he did. Bert examines the boy's body and realizes his throat's been cut. Bert pulls a gun from the car and goes to investigate the cornfield where the boy ran out from. He retrieves the suitcase the boy was carrying and returns to the car. They head off down the road as two very familiar looking boys walk out onto the street behind them. I wonder who those two could possibly be. Bert and Vicky then stop at a gas station. Bert calls the local police station and they drive off into the town of Gatlin. Meanwhile, our new Isaac preaches to the flock of corn cult children, helping to set the stage. Bert and Vicky arrive in the tiny village of Gatlin, and it was at this point I realized this was a period piece. I didn't catch this until this moment.
Well, it's set at the same time as the original one, except that now
the original one's set in 84. The original one's not set in the 70s.
Is it the 70s that this one was?
This one's set in the 70s. Yeah. Because of, okay.
That takes place in 75. Yeah. That,
so,
like the original story did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why they had that?
I think so.
Because Children of the Corn 84, I assumed was just 84.
Brought it up to modern day at the
exactly,
time.
Yeah. So it's set in the 70s. It's set in 1975 to be precise, because the way you know this is there's a shot of a calendar that has the date at 1963, and the calendar hasn't been changed. And since we skipped ahead 12 years, we know 12 years after it's 1975. The couple walk into the familiar-looking cafe, which is left in shambles with corn plants strewn all over. Bert stops at a church he sees so he can explore. Not the police station? Why? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, he's at the gas station, he calls ahead, he's like, okay, we're going to the police station. And then they go, and then he doesn't go to the police station. He's like, let's explore.
See that sermon board? That was last Sunday. Something's happened in this town. Something wrong. Amid in a crisis, they all collect at the church.
He who walks behind the rows?
Yeah. Just one of 9,000 different names for God in Nebraska, I guess. I'm gonna go take a look.
Why? Why are you doing this? Other than because you have to have a movie.
Because remember, one of the things they argue about is, hey, just turn around and we'll go to insert like bigger town.
Well, because he's got the body. They have a body of a dead kid in the back, right?
Right. And he's like, no. I don't want to drive around for another 2 hours.
Kid, yeah.
I want to drop them off with whoever is the authority here in this town, right? But they can't figure out who that is, and there really isn't one.
Well, they're about to find out who runs this place. Yeah. So just as Bert's fucking around in the church, we then get introduced to the big bad Malachi, the new version of Malachi, who shows up accompanied by a huge group of corn cult kids. The kids attack Vicky, who's stuck in the car. Meanwhile, Bert discovers a troubling record of children who have been sacrificed in the name of he who walks behind the rows. Is it row or rose?
The behind the rows.
Yeah, it's Rose. Yeah, that's what I thought. Vicky is then killed by Malachi, which caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, okay, they're killing her off early. I didn't mind it. We're going to get to that. Yeah. It was a relief that she was killed. As Bert walks out to face the mob of corn cult children, what follows is Bert on the run from the deadly corn cult children, Bert turning to killing the corn cult children, while he starts having PTSD Vietnam flashbacks, and then he's eventually killed and the kids win.
Yep.
And that's the plot of the 2009 Children of the Corn.
Yeah. You can, if you take the first scene of this movie and chop it off where they butcher the pig or whatever, and then they all eat that animal. If you take that scene out and you just start with Vicky and Bert driving down the dirt roads or whatever, down the middle America, you get like 98% of what the short story is.
Okay.
I feel like if they could have just trimmed this down to maybe
Is that why you're giving it so much credit? Just because it's so faithful?
It's very faithful to the story. And
But it's not a good movie.
No, I will say that obviously when you read it as a short story, it hits better.
Yeah.
But they didn't. I give them credit for going back to the source material and actually telling that story.
Right.
Right? Because obviously the direct comparison for this one is the first one. And you can tell that they were both from the same material, but now you can really see how the first one just strayed away and took a very small idea and tried to like just massage it out into this full-length movie that it really didn't deserve to have.
But this one is a fucking mess, Mark. It's a mess.
No,
I agree with you.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yep.
Because what, like, okay, they're like, oh, we're going to do a remake of the first one. I guess fair enough. The first one's kind of boring, but like, who cares?
Yeah.
Why do you need to remake Children of the Corn?
That's true.
Like,
but I mean,
why does this need to exist?
If you're the guy that has the rights to that, and that's all you can do, right?
And I mean, that producer who worked on the original, he was dead set on making a remake. So he obviously thought his original was a failure. I wonder if Stephen King watched this newer one and was like, they got it. Yeah, they got it. Yeah, that's how I intended this.
I don't think
Like, was this made for Stephen King? Because I mean, Stephen King's versions
it
of
is
his own
definitely
movies
the
usually
closest.
suck.
Yeah.
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 You ever seen Stephen King's version of The Shining? The made-for-TV one? The one he
Oh,
made? It's so bad. It's such a piece of shit. Anyways.
Yeah.
I really didn't like this movie. I don't even remember what number I put it at. I put it, I put it as a mid. Yeah, it's number 6 for me. There's one element I like, but otherwise I really don't like this movie. Do you want to gush before I dunk?
Well, I mean, I guess I liked the idea that in this one, they went back to having the characters arguing incessantly with each other.
All right, Mark. That's what I want to get into.
Yeah.
That's my first thing. Holy fuck. Okay, Vicky and Bert in the original, they're not interesting.
Yeah.
They're kind of whatever.
Forgettable.
They're forgettable.
Yep.
I would happily watch them any day of the week
Yeah.
than these two characters. Because while what you're saying is, okay, in the original, they're arguing with each other, but in a short story where you don't have to spend an hour with them, that's probably more manageable. Yeah. But in this, when you got to watch a whole movie of two people, of this miserable fucking couple at each other, it is painful.
Right. I would agree with you there. I think this would have made a better 45-minute sort of short story converted into a movie. The idea of why I like this better than the original display of them is that we're almost kind of coming into their lives and it's not going well, right? So you talk about sort of character and world building. Like these two, they're like the reason why they're on a trip is they're not traveling to his new doctor's job across the country. They're going on basically like a final honeymoon to try to bring some life back to their relationship, and it's not going well.
It's not working at all.
Right,
no, they start arguing immediately.
Yeah. Now maybe it's a little bit over the top.
Oh, a little?
But at least you're feeling something, right? Because what's the alternative? The alternative you get is what we got in the first one, where it's just two people sitting in a car. No, these two there's a real risk here that that these two people are the threat to each other, right? And that's
sure.
The short story does a good job of saying almost the Children of the Corn element is almost secondary. They stumble into this almost haphazardly because of the poor decisions they're making.
Sure.
Right? Like one of the things that he does, for example, when he gets out of the car and he leaves her in the car by herself, in the original, he's just trying to, be a hero. In this one, he's like, I'm done with you. I don't care if leaving you is the wrong decision. It's a horror movie decision, but I don't care if I'm leaving you alone right now. I know that doing that is going to frustrate you. I can't be with you right now. And it's through their own arguments and poor decision making that they kind of bury themselves further into this. Because like we said, the best thing to do would have been to turn around and go to a place where they know there's a police station.
Right.
But he's he's almost defiant. I don't want to do whatever you're suggesting because right now I just hate you. And so this is what's going to anger you the most. So we're going to go into Gatlin and that's what we're going to do. And
This Vicky and Bert
Yeah.
in this movie are two of the most toxic,
Yeah.
unlikable, awful people ever
Right.
as protagonists in anything we've watched to date. They are nonstop arguing and fighting and bickering, hitting each other
Yeah.
for almost all of their screen time, and it is fucking unbearable. And I'm going to trigger my own once per fucking episode compilation of Vicky and motherfucking Bert arguing about nothing. Here we go. Let's do it.
You play it like that just to get under my skin.
Oh, come on. Your paranoia's showing again, Vicky.
Sometimes I wonder how I ended up married to you. I don't want to sit in the car all by myself.
At this point, I don't really care what you want.
How did I end up married to a son of a bitch like you in the first place, huh? Where are you going?
I'm gonna go pull that hair out of your ass. I'm gonna go see where everybody is. The sign says open. I'm going in.
And you're just gonna leave me alone in the car again, huh?
No, you said you wanted an early lunch stop. Congratulations. You got it. Give me the bag! Give me the bag! Give me the bag!
Purse! Give it to me!
Give me the bag!
My purse!
Is that fine by you?
Yes, sir. Yes, Captain, sir. I forgot we were back in Long Dong or Dung Ho, wherever it was that you won the war. Must have been the Kong, sir. Why don't we go back in there, burn a few hooches, and rape a few grandmothers, huh?
Why don't you stop talking for a while?
Is that what your Sarge taught you? Out in the jungle? Along with how to cut goot tits off and make moccasins out of them in 20 seconds. Oh, tell me, you crapped out. Big Vietnam War hero? Huh? Oh, Purple Heart and all that? Huh? Come on, John Wayne! What are you gonna do? It's no time to go Section 8! You ran that little boy down. He was just a little boy and you ran him down and you killed...
That was pretty awesome.
Fuck these characters. Vicky is just an annoying cunt.
She is very...
Oh, it's beyond.
Especially since, like the performance that we know we've seen from her is so much better. Yeah.
She is just such a cunt in this movie. Like, cunt is the word. Like, not bitch, cunt. She is so evil and just mean to Bert. But Bert's also a dickhead. He, hits her twice.
But I get the sense
what the fuck is this?
Like
we're supposed to root for we're rooting for these characters? Why are we watching this?
You never see this in a movie. But I get the sense that sometimes people get to this point.
Oh, they do.
I've never...
But I don't want them to be our main characters.
No, I know. But it just... What it is, if you want to showcase real people, sometimes this is what you're going to get, right? And it's too easy to just be like, oh, we don't want that. Let's just make them the happiest, happy couple that we've ever seen. Well, it's not always going to be like that. These guys have been on the road. They're out here for the wrong reason. Right? They're trying to sort of rekindle something that they both know just needs to run its course, right? Again, running into the Children of the Corn is just almost like bad luck, right? That if they hadn't been fighting, he wouldn't have run the kid over in the first place. He would have been watching what he was doing. By the way, the scene where he smacks the car into the kid in this one is much more visceral than the first one.
Oh, it's pretty brutal. Yeah, it's pretty brutal for sure. Yeah. But they're not fun to watch. These are our protagonists. That's all you're left with.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody else. It reminds me of Leprechaun Origins, where that couple sucked. And it's like, I just don't like movies where the protagonists aren't likable. You have to make me like you. And when both people act like pieces of shit, I don't care when you die.
Yeah.
So then there's no stakes. When they kill Vicky off at the 50-minute mark, I literally went, yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm rooting for the kids?
I was a little surprised that what I thought they were going to do with this was what you would normally see in a situation like this, where they're fighting, but then through this sort of shared turmoil and trauma, they realize they come together. Nope. No, they don't fucking do that.
None of that shit happens.
I was kind of like, okay. Candice McClure just gets destroyed.
Yeah, fuck her.
And then
good.
he gets like strung up.
Good. Fuck these
they both
characters.
die.
They both die.
Which is
they
awesome.
Suck.
Yeah.
Because these characters suck. But I don't want to watch an
No
hour.
heroes. There's
I
no
don't-
heroes.
I don't want to watch an hour and a half movie of two asshole piece of shit characters that just die. It's like, this isn't fun.
No.
This is, it's there, and the problem is what you were saying of like, oh, maybe they could have like slowly come together, similar to Garrett and Danny
His son,
in I said Sleepaway Camp
Yep.
in Children of the Corn 2. The problem was they're so evil to one another in this movie. They say horrible shit to one
They're
another.
unlikable. Yeah.
Like, the Vicky is like constantly calling Bert a piece of shit for like being a veteran.
Yeah.
Like she's constantly like calling him like a baby murderer and all this shit. It's like pretty vile.
Yeah.
Like
And in a way, like I kind of felt bad for them, because imagine how toxic a relationship of two people that should be in love and close to each other has to get before they pull out the big guns and start, hitting them with the hardest parts of their past, right? So in a way, I know you say like you hate these characters, but I kind of felt sorry for them, because you don't have to have watched the preceding like 5 years of their relationship to know that it's degenerated so badly. And now they're kind of sitting in this car together and they want so much to make this good again, but despite their best efforts, all they can do is just lash out.
you
at
never
each other.
get a single second of any love
No.
between these two.
Yeah.
There's not even a moment, not even a look. They hate each other, and it's awful to watch. What do you think of the 70s time period? I mean, it serves no purpose other than one.
No, I think it is important, because you can't really do a movie. We're going to see, but it's really difficult to do a movie like this in present time.
Is it because of the plausibility of it?
Because there's just too many ways in the world to connect now.
Yeah. Okay.
right?
So part of I was wondering
Yeah.
this. Did they put it back in the 70s just so it felt a little more plausible?
Yeah, I think
Is that
so.
the idea? So it was just like,
Also-
it's a little. You're a little more
I
isolated.
don't want this to be like a political statement, but I don't think religion today is as powerful a force as maybe it would have
Oh,
been.
maybe it's more powerful than you think.
Well,
yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say, ooh,
but-
easy there.
But like the idea
Easy there,
of-
Rush Limbaugh.
But like this one, and this is another point that I liked, they were more of a religious cult than just a he who walks behind the rose cult. And in fact, this is the one entry in the series where they very much leave it a question as to whether or not there is a power. I mean, I know you see the kid
I
like,
was
throw the
just
knife,
gonna say,
right?
but okay, sure, Mark,
Right.
sure they
but
do.
you
Sure
definitely
they do,
don't,
buddy.
you definitely don't see a corn beast come out and
That's true.
start snapping necks.
You
or
don't
whatever.
you don't see like a tornado show up at the end.
Yeah.
The entity doesn't necessarily.
Right.
Yeah, it's more ambiguous.
Yeah.
It's more ambiguous. Yeah, I agree with that.
It is probably the most grounded of all of the entries in the franchise so far.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is that the children would not be able to, if there was actually a cult of children, they wouldn't be able to stay hidden forever, because eventually the government would show up.
Yeah.
Because property taxes
Right.
were not collected.
Right.
Relatives of the family members who lived in that community would show up.
Yeah.
And then the local government not reporting into the higher government would also cause red flags. And even in this movie, Bert points this out.
Yeah.
People gotta come to Gatlin all the time. There must be people who have friends and relatives here, and delivery trucks that come from the outside.
Not to mention the people just passing through like you and me. I mean, someone had to notice something. Certain things can't happen. Not in the 70s. Whole towns don't just shut down. What about the state patrol? They must cruise through from time to time, and the power company. Huh? Don't you think the power company would have noticed if the electricity had been shut off for 12 long years?
And again, that's another reason why this story works as a short story, where you don't have enough time to think about all the implausibilities of it, right? This movie at least tries to lean towards that, but you're right, it's a little too long. You start to think about those things. One of the things I did like, he goes into the church that they have just obviously desecrated badly. Like, that's a common occurrence in these movies. But then he starts going through like the birth records. He sees all the kids, and then he starts figuring it out, their birthday, and then when they die.
Yeah, when they get
Right.
sacrificed.
And all of their names have been changed.
Yep.
Right. So he's starting to kind of figure out, oh my God, every single person in this town dies at the same
Age.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, unlike other entries, nobody hits them over the head with this. They kind of start to piece it together just on the information that they're finding.
What was this? Your number 3?
Number 3.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
This was, so for a while, this was my number 10.
Nice.
And it wasn't, so it was going to be my number like 10 or 11. And it was only until, do you want to talk about the ending? Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because all I have left to talk about is that ending.
No, I mean, I think, some of the gore was good. I love the idea of the blue man being like the cop that they kill and kind of deify as like a, a lesson of what
Some
not
sort
to
of
do,
symbol, yeah.
right? So you have the blue man, that was the sheriff. There's another body of another guy that tried to come into town, right? Like, and
they're like scarecrows.
Right. They don't really
scarecrows.
know. They turn these dead bodies into kind of these mythical figures. And then you realize, no. They just killed a guy and stuck him up on and made him a scarecrow in the middle of the field. Right. But yeah, no, I like this one.
So this movie is absolute dog shit.
Yep.
Yep, that's correct. However, it does one thing that you have to see to believe, because not since Children of the Corn 3 had we got to this level of ridiculousness.
Okay.
Holy fuck does this... Do you remember me telling you? Because Mark struggled to get through these movies.
I did.
And I had to kind of... There was a couple times I was kind of like, hey, buddy.
How are we doing?
How we doing? Yeah. And I kind of had to coach Mark a little bit to I kind of had to lift your spirits a little bit. And this is the one where I went, and I'm glad I was right, because you liked this one way more than me. Yep. But there was one where I went, you wait till you get to the first remake. It makes choices. Oh, does it make some choices? Holy fuck, I can't believe where this film goes. Okay. So Bert, they set this up earlier in the movie that he has PTSD. He was a Vietnam soldier. Yeah. He served in Nam, which, without getting into the specifics about how horrific that war was, that's a very charged moment in history.
That's right. They did some things. Yeah.
Yeah, that is not it's kind of a black spot on like American history and specifically like the war complex, right? But without getting into too much of that, all you need to know is Bert served in Vietnam. And Vicky hates him for this, and he kind of hates himself a little bit for it. But he's a veteran. He's an ex-soldier, and he puts those skills to work.
Yeah.
So we get they do this really early on. So when Bert gets surrounded by the corn kids, exactly what you said, you're like, how come you just don't start punching the kids? He starts beating the shit out of these kids.
Because of course you would.
But it is so jarring. And that's kind of why you can't do this, because God, is it jarring. Out of nowhere, he starts like slapping around the one older kid that's like trying to threaten him with the knife. And he's kind of like, kid, you don't know what you're doing. And they keep pressing him. And then he snaps the kid's arm in half.
Yep.
Brutally, I might mention. Brutally. It suddenly turns into like a Steven Seagal movie.
He's taking no shit.
And it's like, where is this coming from? Right. And then it is so fucking jarring when he starts actually murdering the kids. I don't mean hurting them. I don't mean disarming them or knocking them. Murdering. Death. And I don't mean older kids. Yeah. I'm not even talking like Malachi. I'm talking like little children. Yeah. He starts killing them. This is it. This is like, we talk about like, where does this series, how insane does this series get? This is it. The third act is Bert running around the cornfield, chased by the children. Yep. And he starts having fucking PTSD Vietnam flashbacks. And this is insane. You don't do this. This is so tasteless. This is tasteless. The children start turning into Viet Cong soldiers.
He's seeing things because he's running through the corn and he's,
And then he starts murdering the kids who he sees as Viet Cong soldiers. No one thought this was troubling.
Hey, whatever you got to do to be motivated out there.
Oh my fucking God, I couldn't believe they went to this level.
Yeah,
It is so uncomfortable. It is so, and this is why this was elevated for me, because you have to see this.
Yep.
Because this is an example of, can you believe they filmed this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so tasteless. It's so bad. Don't do this. This was a horrible decision. Firstly, don't do Viet Cong flashbacks. Don't do that. Don't have it be little innocent children.
Yep.
Don't have your protagonist snap innocent little boys' necks. It's horrible. They did it.
You loved it.
Oh my God. It's so awful.
They also answer some of the other questions that you maybe didn't know you had, right? But how does this population kind of continue to, build itself? They force, as a cult, as a group, they force each other into sexual relations. I don't know if you remember the scene where.
Why did they show this?
Yeah.
There's kid fucking in this.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this.
Like they take basically like the oldest teenagers.
Well, they're teenagers, but
Yeah.
I mean, they're kids to us.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to remember
And,
at this
and
point,
they show it.
Yeah.
To be clear, they show it. It's
they
not
all like they bring them all together in this hall.
all age groups.
Yeah.
All
And-
age
and
groups
they
welcome to
witness
watch
the-
the peep show.
Yeah.
And there's a graphic scene where they have two teenagers fuck in front of everyone
Yep. Yeah.
for all to see.
Yeah.
And this is why it's Mark's number 3.
That's it.
This
Yeah.
this scene alone
Yeah.
bumped it up.
Yeah. And I believe at this point they what do they call it? The age of favor, right? Is 19 when the movie starts, but then because of the fact that they have ticked off the gods, he drops it down to 18, right? So you can imagine that like at the oldest, in order for them to be able to have these children, they would be at oldest like 18 when they're being sort of pushed into this, but more likely I think they're probably like 16, 17. Yeah.
I want to very briefly talk about the new Isaac.
Yep.
So the new Isaac, the little boy's name is Preston Bailey. Preston Bailey, I'm sure you're a nice enough adult now. You suck as Isaac.
Yeah,
you're a
you're-
terrible Isaac.
Yeah, that's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, but then don't do it. Like, do something else.
Oh, it's not his choice.
No, but like, but I'm saying the filmmakers, find another Isaac. You telling me you couldn't find another creepy kid? There's creepy kids all over the fuck. Dude, fucking step outside.
They're all creepy.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
but like, Preston Bailey, not only is he not creepy, he's kind of adorable.
Yep.
He seems like your little nephew dressed up as Isaac in a little Halloween costume.
Yeah.
And like, so he doesn't look the part, he doesn't act the part, and his voice is so bad.
Yeah.
My name is Isaac, chosen by he who walks by in the rows, seer and prophet, guardian of the corn.
Sarah has the gift of sight. She warned us of the coming of the interlopers. Question not my judgment, Malachi. I am the giver of his word.
Your faith weakened. You've led the biggest boys for 3 years now. Perhaps you've gotten prideful. And this is your punishment.
He's got like a little boy voice.
Yeah. He doesn't have the adult in a child's body presence.
Yeah.
that,
He's just a little boy, but he's not intimidating at all.
No.
So like, it just doesn't work.
He is the kid that when I say, why don't you just smack him and push him over?
And what's funny is like in this one, I so badly was like, oh, Malachi, because there's another Malachi. I'm like, Malachi, please kill this stupid little Isaac. No, they get rid of that. There's no coup. There's no scene where where he betrays him.
No.
That doesn't happen.
No.
Why?
No.
Oh, so we're stuck with this awful Isaac. This Isaac sucks. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about your favorite entry?
My favorite. Yeah, the only thing I will say is that I did appreciate the idea that every time you wrong he who walks behind the rows, he takes his vengeance out on you by reducing the age of favor. So initially when the movie starts, the age of favor is 20. But because of the blue man, it is dropped to 19. And because of these two now coming in, he is angered again. He drops it from 19 to 18, right? So every single time
he is aiming to have a cult of babies. He wants to have babies.
Yeah, eventually
the Muppet babies are going to be serving him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, every time this happens, he kind of just culls the population down until you figure out how to, which ironically, by taking out the oldest ones, you're eliminating the ability for them to kind of handle things themselves. But
yeah, Muppet babies. He's gonna have the corn of Muppet, the cult of Muppet babies. Yep. The third act, exactly like so many of these entries though, it just fucking drags.
Yep.
It's literally like 15 or 20 minutes of Bert running around the cornfield playing cat and mouse with the kids chasing him, and then he just dies, and that's it. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you catch the post-credits sequence?
Okay, which serves no purpose. Why? Why have this? Who cares?
No, I think what they were trying
to
do, and I think this actually ties into a later entry. So what happens is the old kids, we know
Malachi,
now that we know that the age of what do we call it?
Whatever.
Age of favor is dropped.
Yeah.
So we've got
the age of consent.
Yeah, we got a new band of kids that now need to walk
to
into
be
the
called.
corn.
Yeah, and one of them is Malachi.
Yeah. So we have a scene where this is now happening for the current generation of kids, and one of the girls that we met earlier in the movie, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's now her husband, or at least the father, that now has to go off and kill himself.
It's Malachi.
And she's not happy about this.
No. And she like screams at him. She's like, "Don't do this."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I have to."
And
that's it.
So we're starting to see somebody who's kind of pushing back against the religion of this.
Sure.
This is Ruth. So let's remember, because that's an important name in the story, because I think we are going to have a character, Ruth, who escapes with their child.
You think this is a connection to Runaway?
I think so.
I don't
know if
I don't
it's
think so
necessarily
because it was dimension because they're so different. I don't think
Ruth
so.
dreams of burning down all the corn, and Isaac notices her lack of acceptance, and he's not happy about it. So I think whether or not they were setting up something for themselves, or whether or not maybe a future movie just kind of took that.
If they did, that's cool. I didn't catch that. If that's actually true.
But you have somebody now who is starting to, I don't believe in this anymore, and I have dreams of bringing this all to the ground.
The last point I'll make, and this has nothing to do with the film at all. It has to do with the Blu-ray. This is the weirdest. Did you experience this with the Blu-ray? Did you see what happened? Okay. This Blu-ray, I've never seen this before. I've seen this with DVDs. I've never seen this with a Blu-ray. You put this Blu-ray in, and it instantly starts the movie. There's no menu.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
There is zero menu to this. To Children of the Corn 2009, there's no menu.
It's like a VHS tape.
It just starts the movie. Yeah. But even more bizarre, so then I'm like, okay, well, after it's just going to the main menu. No, if you try to get to the main menu, it starts the movie again. Once you let it play through, the second the credits are done, it loops and starts playing the movie again. I've never seen a Blu-ray disc do this.
I mean,
what is the purpose of this?
I mean, if the goal is to get you to watch it, then
let's watch it again.
Putting it right at your face.
Let's watch Vicky and Bert argue all over again. That was fun. Yeah. Fuck this movie. Can we move on?
Yes, you may.
Please. Okay.